Well, hello there, guys, and here we are at Ultimate General Gettysburg going into yet another battle on McPherson Ridge. For some reason, it seems that the enemy thinks they're going to do better as the Confederate. Had to have that happen. Because personally, I prefer playing as the Union in this particular battle. That's just me. Excuse me, guys. So we're going to go ahead and see here how things go. I'm going to try to hold that ridge. Obviously, McPherson's Ridge. We'll sort of do what we did last time. Get all of these units up to that ridge as quickly as possible. We'll have them run, have Bucktail Brigade run as well. We'll get these skirmishers to also start supporting them, but I'm going to put them behind the ridge to sort of hide them. And this battle, and I'm not sure if this is a mistake or not, we'll see. I'm actually going to keep those northern troops, these infantry troops here in the north, I'm going to keep them where they are. I'm not going to move them. And get Caliph. He was so helpful last game. Move him up as well. We probably should have moved Biddle up much sooner there, but things happen. So we'll go ahead and get Iron Brigade to move up as well. I wouldn't mind getting I-Corps this time in position behind the ridge in a much more appropriate area, I should say. And let's go ahead and see if we can do the same thing we did with our vedettes. Just harass that enemy cavalry. I always like to do that. Looks like the enemy is going to be sending some units over there for the northern part, so it's good that we were prepared for that. And looks also like this enemy, wow, looks like he's doing something very different from what I'm used to. He may be holding his position and not moving at all, in which case that's great, but it looks to me like he may be going for something sneaking. The reason I say that is we usually get an initial attack here on the ridge, but right now we're not getting any enemy attacks. It seems they're concentrating all their forces up here to the north, which may not be a good, they are moving their artillery forward, so I'm going to go ahead and beat them to it. Let's see, still round shot, thankfully, but that's definitely something to watch out for. Now, I could go ahead, and actually I think I am going to go Iron Brigade and Biddle. I don't like to usually go on the offensive in this battle, but I think right here we may have a slight advantage. It looks like they're concentrating their troops up here to the north. I may be wrong about that. We'll go ahead and pull the vedettes back. And in fact, we'll take one of these skirmishers units and send them up here to sort of fight in the woods if they have to. For now, we'll start pushing here. Okay, Pettigrew is on the way, so we will actually send the skirmishers to support these guys. I'm going to move Stevens up here so that he can be a lot closer to the infantry. Now, one problem is that currently the enemy are in the woods, and that's going to give them a much bigger advantage in terms of firepower. So I may want to fall back here pretty soon, but it looks like Biddle and Iron Brigade are holding their own. Okay, here we go. Now, when they start pushing forward, this is where I really get concerned. It's giving us a lot more time to reload, though, and open up on them, deal them some damage, and that's probably a good thing. Let's go ahead and move up a little bit more, make sure nothing's going on here in the north. Okay, so he's smart enough to know he has to defend those cannons. Really smart, actually. And just by defending those cannons, he's going to get a lot of hits on these infantry units, probably lower their morale somewhat. Let's get those skirmishers up. Okay, here we go, guys. Broken Bro is also on the way to support Pettigrew's attack here. We're going to bring the skirmishers in, put even more damage down on Pettigrew's brigade. Here we go. Iron Brigade is opening up as well. Bring the vedettes in as well. We may even bring Paul up a little bit and shoot with him, although I like to keep this area fairly well defended, but maybe just for now, that's what we'll do. We'll bring Paul up and open right up on him, on Broken Bro. Here we go. Let's make sure the north is still holding. All right, the north is definitely still holding. I'm going to take these vedettes. Actually, I'm going to take these skirmishers and move back down here. I don't like this position right now. It's a little scary. I do want to have my skirmishers engage the enemy skirmishers. This should at least put them under enough pressure that they move back a bit. Sure enough, it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, Bucktail Brigade, Biddle's Brigade, excuse me, acting a little strangely here. We definitely want to open up on Broken Bro now with all of these guys here. And we may even want to pull back with Iron Brigade. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fall with Iron Brigade. I'll have the skirmishers open up on Pettigrew. We'll get Stevens up here, start dropping some shell shot on Pettigrew. I don't know. Now I don't feel so good about moving Iron Brigade back. Let's go ahead and move them up. Why not? The general has to be able to change his mind, right? At least this made him think that they were pulling back. He sort of stopped firing there for a second. We're just going to keep up that firepower, and hopefully we can push back Broken Bro. Okay, come on, guys. Stevens doesn't seem to be doing much here. Still no attack in the north by the enemy. I'm guessing that they're probably saved that attack for last. Let's make sure that Gamble's skirmishers here are putting up a fight as well. I want to make sure I don't have any other units I could be using right now. Of course, this skirmisher unit is probably pretty helpful. We have to make sure the vedettes are shooting. Okay, we got Biddle pulling back, guys. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Gamble skirmishers also look like they're about to pull back. We're going to go ahead and just pull all these units back. We'll pull Iron Brigade up to this wooded area as well. Of course, they're going to open up with their, open up and shoot first, but eventually they will pull back to this position. So this is a little scary. Not too scary, but I don't like the situation we have here. As you know, I always tend to send Union troops across this little creek here. What is it called? Against Willoughby Run Creek. And it's not necessarily a good idea, but right now I think we'll be okay. Seems that they've got Davis. He saved his best brigades for last. That's probably a very smart decision. We're going to go ahead and put Devon skirmishers up here on the hill, and we're just going to wait for Pettigrew and Davis. I'm guessing that's what he's going to send to attack us. We can actually just keep firing shell shot, have Biddle open up here, keep Iron where they are, and actually I just want to make sure that they're about faced in the right position. See if Gamble skirmishers, can they open at all? That would be pretty awesome. Okay, so our skirmishers here are going to go ahead and engage theirs, of course. I think Reynolds has got a pretty good bead on Davis here, so we should be doing all right. And now they're going for their northern attack with Wilcox. Pretty smart. We'll go ahead and move Cooper up here to support this defense. And hopefully we can get Stevens to make Pettigrew fall back. That would be just perfect. Let's see if we can actually switch to canister shot. It seems for that we have to move up a little bit. All right. At the very least, Broken Road does seem to be in a lot of taking a lot of damage, but Pettigrew's is going strong, guys. He's doesn't seem to be even phased. And this happened last battle. Pettigrew's brigade, just really a tough brigade to deal with. Okay, here we go. Looks like they're moving right up. We'll go ahead and engage right. We'll move the vedettes up to engage right. We'll engage Wilcox over here with Cutler. Actually, we'll keep Cutler right. And actually, I'm going to stop Baxter here. I'm going to halt him in the woods. We'll halt the vedettes in the woods, too. And at this point, we have the advantage. As you can see, they're dropping like flies because they're in open ground. We made this mistake earlier in the battle. Let's go ahead. Iron Brigade's going to stay put. Hopefully, Paul can make Broken Bow fall back. At this point, I'm surprised he hasn't made a retreat yet. But that's one of the reasons why Johnson, is firing off into Paul. Just right into his right flank, doing a ton of damage with canister shot. We're doing the same with Stevens against Pettigrew, but not nearly as much damage. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we can hopefully make Johnson pull that brigade back. Let's see how things are going up here with Wright and the vedettes. Could be going better, of course, but could be going worse. Is now well, I should say Wright is now in the same wood position as Baxter, which makes it a lot more difficult for us to actually have a good position here. I'm going to go ahead, move Cutler up here. It's not the greatest idea, which means that Wright, if Wilcox wants to make a northern attack on our positions here, he probably can. So it's a little risky, but I think it's necessary right now. Let's move these vedettes up and these skirmishers. We're not using skirmishers to the best of their ability, or these vedettes. We could be putting a lot more damage on Pettigrew. As you guys can see, there we go. Now Pettigrew is taking enough damage to actually consider retreating. When you see that flag flashing, he's either charging or pulling back. So we're going to keep up the fire, and hopefully we can make Broken Bow. And there we go. It looks like a charge. It definitely looks like a charge. He's absolutely try and beat us in a charge. I'm just going to hold my position, and it looks like, ooh, tough. This is going to be really close, guys. The Confederates are definitely making a total battle charge here. We're going to go ahead and keep the fire on Davis with Califf and with Reynolds. Let's go up here really quickly. All right, so Cutler's here. We just want to get right out of the fight. Because at that point, we can focus everybody on Wilcox. As you guys can see, he's already lost a few men just getting up there to the woods, but if our guys don't put up a good fight, we're in some trouble. All right, it looks like the Confederates are making a push up here to the north. Very smart tactics by whoever is playing as the Confederates in this particular battle. He's definitely making the best use of that Confederate battle charge. And all we can really do is try to hold this hill. That's our only recourse. We're going to go ahead and actually run to the position. We'll try to charge back, but actually Paul's in a decent position here, so we don't want to charge against the enemy. We will move Paul forward, though, and open up fire against Davis. Also make sure Bucktail's opening up on Davis, and we'll move Reynolds up. Hopefully he can fire a canister shot and get it right over the hill there at the enemy. It looks like the enemy has succeeded in their charge, at least in pushing our men back slightly. Enough to make a difference in this battle. Paul up. Oh boy. As you can see this, all of my men are on the run, guys. Really on the run. So we want to make sure that we get as many men up here to defend the line as possible. At this point, I'm almost tempted to move Baxter up and move Baxter down to the south. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, to try and support the defense here. Biddle, all these guys need desperately to gain morale. I'm not sure they can hold out against Davis. Let's open up here. Come on, Reynolds, you've got to get this guy. Paul, we can move Paul up a little bit. We'll have him actually walk up the hill. That's not the smartest idea, but okay. And actually, we will countercharge, guys. This is the perfect time for a countercharge against Davis, because at this point, if he breaks against Bucktail, he will definitely win the battle. We will also charge with Bucktail Brigade, and we will move the general up here, provide some moral support for the men. Not sure how effective that's going to be, but we're going to try. We'll move Iron Brigade up here too, to hill, and also the vedettes. So at this point, it looks like Davis, well, it looks like Bucktail and Davis are fighting. Archer is definitely on the run, but Davis is holding strong, although at least this has made him focus his attack elsewhere. And now it's getting pretty exciting because both of our units are running from this battle, and that's scary. We're even opening up on the retreating men with Baxter's Brigade. Go ahead and move up here. The last thing I want is to lose this battle to skirmishers. I would never forgive myself. So let's get Iron Brigade up there as soon as possible. Stevens, maybe he can open up on Broken Row with some shell shot and keep him from ever joining the battle. In fact, I'll move Stevens up here to a higher ground. It looks like the skirmishers have pulled back. Awesome job. I will move I-Corps up here to bring some support to Paul, at least, some moral support. And look at that, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Davis and Archer are on the run. They're taking a tremendous amount of damage there from our cannon. Really awesome. We want to go ahead and move up here, make sure the skirmishers don't make us retreat off this hill. So we're definitely going to move up against these skirmishers. We'll move Devon skirmishers up here. The real trick is to just keep this hill stocked full of men. I'll move Buford and I-Corps up here, and skirmishers as well, and just really put our command post right behind the men. Give them an extra reason to put up a good fight. As you can see here, the enemy right and this other brigade, I don't know who it is, Wilcox, are putting a tremendous amount of damage here on Cutler, and they most certainly will break through eventually. All we can do is try and keep them back as long as possible. Just force them to take their time to move through these woods. And the only way to do that is possibly to bring up some vedettes or, you know, some sort of skirmisher unit to cover them, but we just don't have any that we can spare right now. Let's go ahead and move up. Beautiful. We actually got some fire down on Hess skirmishers. Move up Gamble's skirmishers here to deal with Archer. Probably going for the north. And there we go. Some wonderful shell shot on the enemy. Let's take a look at what's happening here. I have to be very wary with this guy because he's no noob. That much I know. He did a great sort of pincer maneuver, which is what I would have done, what I would have gone, but I don't know if he's got enough time to carry it out. If he can break Cutler up there in the north, we may be in some trouble. If he can, however, we may be all right. We'll just have Hall continue to open up with shell shot against this guy. It's taking some time to reload, but pretty normal. Let's move Gamble skirmishers up too. Alright, here we go, guys. Broken Bro is coming up for another attack. Looks like possibly a Confederate battle charge here. We'll move the vedettes up. I've counter-charging with vedettes. It's never a good idea. If he is charging, I don't know what he's charging for. It may be the cannon unit, possibly. Go ahead and just open up on him just to make sure. Alright, guys, we've got a pretty strong position here now. You guys can take a look. We've really tried to bring all of our units back after those devastating charges pushed us off the hill, and I'm definitely happy with that. It looks like Archer's brigade is running for the hills. No surprise there, although definitely the enemy up here in the north has managed to crush Cutler's brigade. I'm not really surprised at that. We'll move Bucktail up to support these guys, but yeah, that's definitely not good. Not good, but not the end of the world. As you can see, we'll move the vedettes as well. There's no need for them to get routed either, and yeah, not looking good for Cutler one bit. You can see that he's losing men really badly. Archer's moving up as well. We can't move Bucktail here to deal with Cutler if Archer's going to be hassling us. So we're going to go ahead and move over here to deal with Archer again. Wow, he moves quickly. Almost too quickly. Let's see if the skirmishers can kill a few of Wright and Wilcox's units. It looks like Wright may be pulling back a little bit. His men may be sort of tired from such constant charging. And Steven seems to still be opening up on Broken Bro. I sort of feel like challenging him with Biddle, at least getting Biddle into this wooded area, so he's more effective. Okay, Bucktail Brigade's pulling back. Not good. Archer is got a nice attack. I don't know what's going on there. It's actually tempted to move Baxter back. I didn't want Baxter to do that. I wanted to move him back and actually open up on Archer. I don't know if it's just me, but weird. Archer is shooting too fast for my taste. It's just kind of odd. Okay, here we go, guys. Wilcox up in the north. We'll go ahead and actually move Hall to focus on Wilcox. Make sure the skirmishers are opening up on Wilcox too. And at this point, we'll try to break Archer with just the infantry units. Let's move Devon's skirmishers over here as well. Alright, Archer is pulling back a little bit. Not enough for me to feel safe, but a little bit at least. And there we go. Baxter is now also retreating. That sucks. So at this, I'll consolidate the defense over here in the wooded area almost entirely. I'm actually going to try to move over to canister shot if I can and open up on Wilcox, although I don't think I can in time. Keep Cutler right where he is. Come on, guys. Open up. Open up, guys. All right, go, guys. Another attack by the enemy. Looks like an attempt at a charge, but with skirmisher units, it's not going to be all that effective. Okay, Hall is pulling back. All we've got to defend this northern area is Cutler. We're going to go ahead and go here with the vedettes. I'm just going to, in an effort to save time, going to take the vedettes back here for the enemy and charge their flank. And hopefully that will make a little bit of a difference. Let's move these guys up. I'm shocked that Archer is still not retreating. Really shocked. Got him like fish in a barrel there. At least now we've got all the skirmishers opening up on him. Alright, here we go, guys. Cutler is moving in. Cutler's about to defend here. Have him open up, and we're going to have the vedettes charge. Boom, right into the back of Wilcox. And this is going to make him, bring him away from the battle and sort of make him focus on this charge. I believe so. Let's go ahead and charge vedettes. Right into Wilcox's flank. Wow, that's kind of cool. Let's make sure we have some defensive units up here in the north. Looks like we do. Archer is doing an amazing job. Just providing constant volleys for the enemy here. Come on, Bucktail. You got at least a shot off. Alright, here we go. Skirmishers coming up for another attack. We're just going to continue the assault on Archer's brigade, but that attack in the north is definitely troubling. What we're going to do is move this unit up here. We may eventually move Biddle to support the defenses here on Oak Ridge, but for now we're going to try to play it safe, just keep him exactly where he's at, just in case he tries to move forward with Pettigrew, which is what I think he's planning to do. I think the enemy is planning to move Pettigrew forward, although he better do it soon. As you can see, he's got a really great attack here. I'm going to go ahead and move Baxter up, move this guy up, we'll move Biddle into place. Yeah, we need to do stuff, make things happen quickly here, because right now things are about to get pretty dicey at the end. Our only friend in this battle right now is time. If the enemy continues on this trajectory, we're in a lot of trouble. I'll tell you that right now. Archer is just crazy. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Okay, there we go. We finally pulled Archer back. Wow. After, like, how long? That was absurd. The guy put up an amazing fight. Now we'll move the skirmishers up here. They can actually support the defense of the north here, which should help us a lot. I want to see if, yes, he's going to move forward with Broken Brew. Sort of expected him to do that, excuse me. But as long as he can't take that victory point, I'm not too concerned. Move the vedettes in for some target press. And look at that. Wonderful battle so far. Very, very close, I believe. Definitely felt the pressure in this battle as opposed to my last multiplayer battle where I felt very confident in my position. And in fact, this might be delayed. I'm not sure if it will be, but this battle may definitely be delayed because of how close it is. We're going to see. And if it is delayed, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm not sure we can hold out against the Confederates. So we're going to go ahead and go up here to the north, continue. We're just, as you can see, we're just trying to pepper this guy with shot. You can see Wilcox's brigade is now coming out of the woods, and this should assist us in killing him. And there we go. The battle is definitely delayed. Hey, that's awesome. Awesome. I mean, that's the way the game should be. If it's this close, the battle should not be an easy win. So we're going to go ahead and just keep Biddle up here. We'll pull I-Corps back. Hopefully give him some support, and we want to just move Baxter, everybody over here onto the hill, a good defensive position, and try to hold out against the enemy. Wow. Looks like our canister shot is still opening up, and like I said, knew Pettigrew was going to forward this battle. Beautiful, beautiful job by the enemy here. We'll move Paul up to try and counter Pettigrew, but it's not looking good. And at this point, you can see we've been almost entirely pushed back by the enemy troops. They're moving Davis up. It's not looking good for us. They've really done the pincer movement so well here, the enemy, and I just commend them for it so much. This is how I would play as the Confederates on Battle of McPherson Ridge. We'll go ahead and try to see if we can get Iron Brigade into position quickly, although I don't think so. He is seriously concerned with his position. I'm almost tempted to do a downhill charge with Paul, but it just wouldn't even succeed. Let's move Biddle over here. Try and support Paul as well. And Buford, all he can really do is bring that commander support that the troops need, standing behind his troops and ushering them on, but that's not going to do much, I don't think. So here we go. It looks like the skirmishers have taken it upon themselves to charge upon their own accord into Pettigrew's division, and the enemy is definitely making a fresh push here. We'll go ahead and take Bucktail, just move him up on top of the hill. We will not do a charge. Try to just get all of these units back on top of the hill as soon as possible. It looks like the North's pretty silent at the moment, and I think that's probably because he's waiting for a good time to do a flanking maneuver, like when get all of these guys on top of the hill, for instance, and that's kind of scary. Go ahead and just keep our eyes on him. And at least Cooper has some pretty good cover here, if you guys see that, behind this this wall. So that may help him get a few good shots out onto Wilcox. Come on, Cooper. Get out of the way, Cutler. I don't think you can shoot. There we go. Wonderful. All right, guys. We keep moving guys up here. It looks like the Confederates are having just as much trouble moving up this hill as we are moving down it, but once they get just a little bit of morale, they're going to rush up, believe me. So we have to be very careful. Right up here in the north, still not doing much. It looks like Stewart has taken it upon himself to do absolutely nothing this battle. We can go ahead and see if he'll open up on Wilcox. That'd be pretty cool. And let's see if we can move the vedettes up here to defend the hill. All right, Biddle is pulling back. We want to move the skirmishers up. Stevens still firing off on Broken Bros Brigade. It's been the entire battle like that. And we're going to do a countercharge with Bucktail Brigade. Because at this point, I don't see what else to do. I think the countercharge is probably the best decision. Try to push the enemy. So here we go, guys. We will do countercharge with Paul's brigade if we can. We may not be able to. It looks like Davis is going for a full Confederate battle charge on the hill. Very, very, very expected. I was going to say unexpected, but it's not at all unexpected. It's exactly what Confederates should do. Let's move Baxter here. We can see if maybe we can move Baxter up into the position to take this position. I'm not sure how successful we're going to be. Let's move Buford up. Everybody's got to move up here to hold the hill if we can at all. So we're just going to keep going. Vedettes here. Biddle's moving up. Iron Brigade looks like they're just running for home. And Archer is back. Worst nightmare, Archer. He is back for more carnage. I'm going to go ahead here. Back up tail. These guys back up here on this victory position. Everybody move up to the victory position. All right, we've got Davis on the run. Archer's still there, giving us just a hell of a fight. I'm almost tempted to go ahead and take Cutler here and move him to the center point, but I think we need him up here to put some shot down onto Wilcox. Wow. Come on, guys. You can do this. Move the skirmishers up. Move these skirmishers up, too. We'll even move Iron Brigade up again. Look at that hill. Look at the amount of Ted up there. I feel like if we could push back, well, it's not going to happen, but if we could push back Pettigrew and Archer, we could definitely win. But right now, it looks like our men have taken a pretty good beating from the enemy troops. You can see the amount of Union dead on that hill is just amazing. It's the Civil War version of Hamburger Hill. It's just absurd. So the best thing we can do is just, hope that their morale is as low as ours, and take that uphill advantage. But I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and get Paul to start running. Paul's actually got pretty good morale still, so we want to try to get him into position as soon as possible. Without him, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's move the vedettes over here. Got Gamble's vedettes have taken such a beating, they've sort of just started running from the battle. Okay. And Paul needs to really get up here quick. Okay, it looks like Pettigrew is pulling back. That's somewhat good news, but not good enough. Biddle, how is his condition doing? It's terrible. Okay, Iron Brigade has definitely retreated, and for that Paul doesn't do the same thing. Tail either. Alright, Wright is going to support Archer's flank, as we can see here. And we're going to just have to move Biddle up, try to move these guys up, even though they're not particularly ready for a fight. We need to put everybody into this fight right now and try to force the enemy back. Especially since Wright has decided he's going to move up and deal some damage to our men. See if, hopefully, Stewart here can put some damage on the enemy troops, some shell shot. Not sure how advantageous that's going to be for us, but we'll see. And as you can see, even Paul has been forced back. So Pettigrew is just a bastard. Here we go. They're getting that uphill advantage now, guys, and the battle is turning for sure. We'll try to charge with the vedettes, maybe cause a little havoc in the enemy troops. I'm not sure how much. and just keep opening fire with the rest of these guys. Caleb here is going to have to deal with the northern attack by Wilcox. A true pincer movement. If they can't take the center, they'll certainly be able to take the north. That's the thinking here, I think. Oh, wow. We are coming to the crux of the battle, of what will happen. I mean, it looks like a loss for me for sure. I think I lost way too many men defending the hill. If you guys have any ideas of the mistakes I make sure to let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for opportunities to improve my gameplay. As you can see now, the Confederates are bringing a fresh brigade out. It looks to push on this hill. That's painful. That's really painful. We'll go ahead and countercharge with Paul. I don't think his charge will even make it to the Confederate lines, but at least try for the end of the battle. Here we go. Okay, we're being forced back by the enemy. Still being forced back, and it looks like the enemy has consolidated their victory. Beautiful job. They're moving up to take the hill. Very little I can do to stop them from taking it, too. At this point, I think they may even succeed in taking our center point, or our northern point here. But yes, the hill has absolutely fallen. So at this point, all we do is try not to have a total defeat. I'll move some of these units back onto Oak Ridge and just try to hold the ridge here. Our only bet, I think, yeah, it's at this point the battle ends soon. Our only attempt at possibly winning is just to try to do a ridiculous charge here off to the west, but I don't expect it's going to work. Let's go ahead. Yeah, no, Paul's already running. We'll go ahead and see if we can open up on the skirmishers at least, but I highly doubt it. And it looks like the enemy may have just secured a victory. We're going to go ahead and, can you hear? Just keep attacking with at least our skirmishers, hopefully force the enemy back, but I don't see it happening. Iron Brigade forward. Cutlers now also defending this position. Wow, the Confederates are doing really great, although now it looks like Wilcox is pulled back. This gives us a tiny, tiny ray of hope, but really not much since the battle's about to end. If we had been able to do this a little earlier, I'm not sure how the battle would have gone. Let's go ahead and see if we can get any of these guys to take the hill back. Okay, Oak Hill is lost, guys. The Confederates, I believe, have secured it, or at the very least made it a neutral zone in which they will secure it very, very soon. Definitely by the end of the battle. If not, it would be a draw, but I don't see that happening. I would have to be very lucky for the Confederates to not be able to secure this hill at the end of the battle. So we're going to go ahead and move here. We'll charge with Iron Brigade. Not sure how useful that'll be. We'll go ahead and move Cutler up, just move everybody up to try and move on that victory point. Iron Brigade is still going for a charge. Amazing. Very surprising, but unfortunately they could not continue it for very long. That was like the Union equivalent of Pickett's charge right there. The enemy has definitely, I believe, secured this hill. You can see it's turning red now. Once it's bright red, they've definitely secured it. And at that point, we lose the battle for sure. But it's been close. Right up to the last second, there has been unbelievable combat all over the place. I give it to my Confederate opponent here. He did a great, great job. We can go ahead and just keep moving forward. Hopefully get a last charge in, but it doesn't look like we will. And the battle is still delayed. Pretty cool. Okay, Cutler. And as you can see, we are moving uphill for this charge, which is even more difficult. Charge. Come on, guys. At least try to move them off the hill. That would be great. See, very, very close here, but they should be able to secure that position in time. I'm almost tempted to take some vedettes, but we don't really have any. Do we have some vedettes? Yes, and move them up here. Just keep moving. It looks like the battle is going to end very soon, though. I'm surprised it hasn't ended yet. So you can iron charge. Yes, go charge, Iron Brigade. Charge, boys, charge! Get Baxter to charge too if he's able to get into position in time. And let's move I-Corps up here. But as you can see, the enemy is closing around us, just like a vice. And at this point, it's nearly impossible to retake that hill. Our only hope would be if, by some miracle, Pettigrew pulled back. Charge with Baxter. Actually, take a look up here at the north and see see. Wow, the Confederates lost a lot of men up here. We lost a lot of men on the hill. Okay. Move Stewart up here. So the hill is definitely held by the enemy. Surprised the battle has gone this long, but I guess the game was just determining whether or not the hill was still being contested over, which I think is pretty fair. And at this point, it's just going to be the enemy trying to take this final position before the battle ends, which they may succeed at. We've put up a pretty good fight, and we're out of men. Our army truly is beaten in almost every sense of the word. We go just take a look at all the dead men here. Pettigrew is still continuing that assault, so the battle should end soon. I'm surprised it's delayed this long. I'll go ahead and try to hold off against Wright's attack. Boom! Massive canister shot right into the enemy there. At least Wright has pulled back. Okay there, guys, that is the end of the battle. I actually really enjoyed it, despite it being a defeat for me. The enemy lost 3,620 troops. We lost 5,160. I thought there were just so many beautiful parts of this battle. The charges, the constant Confederate battle charges. At one point, I had such a secure position on top of that hill, but since the enemy was extremely smart in his offensive, he actually did that pincer maneuver, which is exactly what I would have done as a Confederate general. Not trying to kiss my own ass here, but the reason I would do it is you've got those woods in the north, and there's no reason why you shouldn't take advantage of them. So I would definitely have moved through those woods and tried to attack the Union's northern flank. That's what the enemy did. He did a great job. A really, really close battle. If I had gotten the battle to end just a little sooner, we would have had it. But since the battle was very fair, we got our asses handed to us, and I think our enemy did a great job. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you do enjoy these Ultimate General Gettysburg Civil War videos, make sure to post and comment down below. Thumbs up this video, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and check out my other Ultimate General Gettysburg videos. Thank you so much, and have an awesome day.